Hey guys, not my usual shtick here, but I came across a video that referenced America's tipping culture. It was about Japan's tipping culture, which it's not non-existent apparently. Cool. But anyway, it said it implied tipping in America is mandatory. I hear a lot of people online who are tourists who come here, usually from the UK and Europe, all around Europe, all that area, who talk about their confusions with our tipping culture and how much money they end up tipping. So I figured, while I'm thinking about it, I kind of want to post a video. So I'm from Massachusetts. So if I use minimum wage numbers, I'm using the Massachusetts minimum wage because I don't know the federal gratuity minimum wage. I know the non-gratuity one. And that's where this part comes in a little bit. So a gratuity minimum wage is the minimum wage that tipped jobs get. So like waiters and waitresses basically. Sorry, my doggo. But not all tipped jobs are gratuity jobs. It's just like a polite gesture for most of them. So like bartenders, I think, are full minimum wage. I'm not sure on bartenders, but it's polite to tip them anyway. Fast food workers, non-gratuity minimum wage. So Massachusetts, that's $15 an hour, 15 USD, obviously USD. And the gratuity one is I think 6.25 an hour. So that is important to know. If you're not sure if a job is gratuity or not, you can always look it up on Google. And the gratuity minimum wage is supposed to be basically the full minimum wage. So in Massachusetts, that's 15 an hour minus 20%. That's what it's supposed to be. So the standard expected tip is 20% at these places. I've heard stories of people paying 50%, 40%, 45, 30% because they have no fucking idea. And they're lied to by a lot of people sometimes. I've heard stories of waitstaff in very touristy areas putting 50% tip as part of their check. Don't let them do that. You can't do that. Some waitstaff who are less kind might get mad if you try and tip on a card, because if you pay in cash, it's easier for them to dodge the taxes that they legally have to pay, which they can't do on a card. It automatically comes off. So if they get mad at you for tipping on a card, you're allowed to. You're allowed to do it. Don't let them bully you. Standard is between 10 and 20%. Again, 20% is what the gratuity minimum wage actually accounts for, though. But polite company, it's 10 to 20 typically. You can do more, you can do less. It's not mandatory to tip. It is expected, but it is not mandatory. So yeah, just don't let them scam you. Don't let them scam you. I don't think most wait staff will. It's just if you're in a touristy area, it's probably more likely. And I know there's not a lot of good information online about it because, quite frankly, we are all angry that this exists in the first place because we don't like doing it either. So we'll get kind of sarcastic about it and be, oh, it is mandatory or things like that. It's not. It's absolutely not. The way it's set up, it feels like it's mandatory, but you will not get in trouble. It's just very rude to not tip. Very, very rude. So, yeah, just if it's a gratuity job, make sure you do it. If it's not a gratuity job, it might still look like an ass, but it's not actually a big deal. Yeah, if you got questions, pop them down below. I'll try and answer as many as I can. I've never worked a gratuity job, so I can only really give you what I know from living as an American. Again, I'm in Massachusetts. That's on the East Coast, so can't speak for everything. I mean, Boston is a pretty touristy area, but I haven't heard of any of these scams happening there. There is a different scam that tourists can fall for in Boston. Deal with the Chinese. It's the Chinese mafia. They put a bracelet on your hand and then try and force you to pay for it. I was with somebody who was gonna, fall for it. I kind of knew it was a scam, but I was like, whatever. If he wants to pay for him, cool. But then he's like, oh, we have to pay. You don't have money. So, and she got wicked pushy. We just put the bracelet on the thing and walked away, and she left us alone. So if you run into that, that's really the biggest one we have in Boston that I'm aware of for my area. So the ones I've heard of, I think those people are usually going to LA. Don't quote me though, but like just be aware of it. Just, be aware of the tipping thing. Because if you are a tourist, you're kind of an easy target to take advantage of. I'm sorry. That's with everywhere. If I went somewhere else, then obviously I am. So I just wanted to put this out there for all y'all. So if you come to America, I hope you enjoy your visit. Um, most of the country's really not as bad as the news says. It's not great either, but the news is going to report the worst stuff. So, just, if you're worried, keep to yourself. But you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just like I said, don't let the scam artists get to you. All right. Peace. Oh, wrong button.